welcome everybody, and thank you for being here. I know there wasn't much choice, but thanks for being here, and we're going to have a fun time today. I know you guys have really been working hard, and this is obviously part of the class, but it's really primarily a learning experience, and also it's a fun experience as well. So today, so I'll give a little brief introduction here, and then we'll get going. So, as you all know, this is the autonomous chain climber, and so I'm talking to mostly the choir, but there's probably some folks here that are here to enjoy this and to encourage your team on as well. So, welcome those folks to this as well. So, this is an autonomous chain climber. Here you see really the base of the fixture on the screen, the middle screen, and the front portion is the starting volume, which is the volume that the device has to fit in to accomplish task 1 within a 45-second time slot that when a group when a heat gets going, they'll have to put it in, and that volume is 12 inches by 5 inches by approximately 3.6 inches. And then on top of the starting volume is a starting gate. And so it'll be the starting gate that the autonomous chain climber will have to trigger itself off of. One thing about this competition, it's not a time competition per se, where it's how fast you do it, but there are time slots for the tasks. And I'll describe that in just a moment. So this is the overall fixture, and so really task 1 is the placement in the starting volume. Task 2 is simply to break the plane in X, Y, or Z of that starting volume once the starting gate opens. Okay, so there's going to be a little bit of variability and things like that, and how that plays out. That's all part of the robustness of the design. So task 2 is breaking a plane in X, Y, or Z of the starting volume. Task 3 is engaging with the chain in some way and getting to the highest point within 2 minutes. And so there's going to be a clock running at the start of the opening of the gate. So at the end of 2 minutes will be the point in which the climber climbs. At the end of 2 minutes, from 2 minutes to 5 minutes, it goes to task 4, which is hang time. And hang time is basically staying intact with the chain until the 5 minutes. Part of this is that it's the lowest part of the device. All the device has to go up the chain, and basically the lowest part is where the height is measured. So let's say it goes up and there's a string dangling on the ground. It's height 0, that sort of thing. The other thing, if it goes outside the lane volume, which is the sides, front, and back up to the top, and the top at the bottom part of the top is the top. So if it exceeds the top, that's outside the volume. If it goes outside here, it's outside. If it goes outside here, it's outside. If you disturb either side, it's outside. Okay. During the hang time, there's no attachment to the top. So it all has to be suspended by the chain in some way. Okay, so that's the important part. It's held by the chain. So if there's a magnet stuck to the top, that's not okay. Okay, so we've got some expert judges here. I'll introduce them in just a moment. We've got an expert film crew with us as well, and let's see. So that's the competition. This is our schedule that we're going to be following today. And so currently we're at the end of check-in. We're getting ready for the trial round. And so T1 to T4 are the trial rounds. We'll get those started shortly. And again, the trial round is to go through task 3. So it's really the placement in the starting volume, opening the start gate by the starters, and we'll start autonomously and engage with the chain and go for the 2 minutes. And that will be the trial round. We're not going to go the full 5 minutes for the hang time. So just tasks 1, 2, and 3. And then based on that same ordering, we'll start for heat 1, which is H1 through H4, starting at 10 o'clock. And then we have the expert judges that'll be capturing the information. From that'll determine 6 teams that will go to the final. And so after the 4 rounds of the heat 1 through 4, we're going to get together as judges and then come back and announce the final 6 teams that will be part of the championship round, which will then run at 11 o'clock. And based on that, we'll announce the top 1 through 6 in terms of how they finished today. Okay. The rewards. Basically, first, second, or third. So basically, an A for the project, 100 on the final for place 1. Place 2 is an A for the project. So that means no report, if you will. Place 3 is A for project. All others, 98% will be judged on the report. And they're working on that, I know. And then this is a great experience, and this we're going to do some reflection on this in class on some of the assignments and lectures coming up. And this is a fun experience. Okay, our judges and support team today, and it's a little different, but so I'm the head judge, if you will. Shumay and Arun, which you know as TAs, are part of the judging team. Bert Vermillion, who's taught the class multiple times, is with us. Bob's might show up and be part of the audience, but Bob's not part of the judging team. Chris, there's Chris. So Chris is going to, a former TA in the class, and he's going to be the primary observer and announcer that will basically help run each of the rounds. And then Betsy Ferris, and Betsy Ferris is a former TA in this class, and Betsy's going to be assisting and a judge. And then Keith Chatfield is going to be lecturing on PLM coming up in an upcoming lecture. And Keith is going to be a judge today. Graham is here as an expert judge, the second time he's gone around here to actually help in the judging. We have John and Greta right there, and John and Greta are a part of our film photograph team that helps to document our event today. Then Misha and Dasha are going to help with the videotaping of our competition today. If you've gone to mech202.com, and that's where their work helps us document this competition for future reference and archival purposes as a part of the outcome. This is the judge's card, both for trial heat as well as the judging. So this is the trial T1 through T4. The group number, task 1, the 45-second foot setting up. Task 2 is breaking the volume. Task 3 is the 2-minute climb. And task 4 is the hang time, minute 2 through 5. And then I'm going to be measuring the height from the bottommost point. And then we've already, during check-in, we have the weight. And so one of the important points is from each run, from your left to right, will be from heaviest to lightest. Okay? And that will be in the setup. So if you want to know which is the heaviest, it might be obvious by sight, but that's the way they're set up in each of the the trial and the regular heats. Here's some of the logistics for each round. So watch the board to see when your group is up. If your group is on deck, okay, this is the on deck portion over here. And so you're on deck. When you're asked to, say, come and set up, you're going to come in here, and really one person, you might have a couple teammates behind you, but it's really one person because there's not a whole lot of room. Is setting up with the gate down. And so don't be messing with the gate because that might trigger somebody else. Okay, so you can set it up and make sure that it's there. I advise you to just stay with your device until you hear move back. Okay, move back and make sure that your device isn't triggered by another device. Okay, I've heard a number of things that, I don't want, this is part of the robustness, but make sure that you're in control of the kinds of things such that when you say move back, that your device is ready to go. And then at some point, not immediately after 20 or 45 seconds, at some point shortly thereafter, if there's a false start or something, that's another thing. But the gate's going to open. And then from there, that's when the 2-minute period starts. After the previous round finishes, after the previous come in and place your device. Device is in the middle, gets placed first, and then we'll go outward. After you're setting up, you can have one person standing back out of the viewing area, but everybody else has to move back here or into the audience. So Arun and Shimei will be the starting at the gate. And so there's going to be 2 starters because they're not coupled together. But since it's in the timed event, they're going to start roughly at the same time. So you'll be standing back between Arun and Shimei. They'll coordinate the lifting of the gate, and it'll go from there. After the round is over, the trial run, which is really through task 3, you'll be asked to collect your device, and then the results will be announced by Chris, going from left to right, the way we observed it in terms of the outcome. And that'll be captured by the recording judges on their sheet. I had a question asked saying, can we be out front to catch our device if it happens to go too far? The way we've ruled on that is basically we can't be blocking the camera nor the group. So part of the going outside of the bounds, if it went too far, is it went too far. And so there won't be anybody there to catch it. So that's it. So that's the trial round. If that's the first heat, okay. The top, okay. Hold on. The top 3 teams. The top 3 teams. Next Thursday. Hold on here. Next Thursday, the top 3 teams will explain in class how their device works. And you can have up to 4 slides to do that. Other teams, it'll be 98 points out of the 100 are based on the report. 2 points are based on the device accomplishing at least, 2 points is based on accomplishing meeting all the requirements allowed to compete today, as well as task 3, engagement with the chain at least once. Viewing tips, follow the rounds, on the projected brackets, and then lanes. Actually, this is backwards. So the heaviest is on the left, and the lightest is on the right. So with that, we're ready to get started.